Hello, welcome back, my Battle Language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Battle Language guy, and we're back on another show, an extra show on Sunday, episode number 32. And I'm checking if everything is all right. Today has been a lazy day. It's rather of a lazy day. I was doing things around the house and doing things around the studio, and I decided, why not? Why not have a chat? Not only a chat. I am trying to align here all my chats in all my platforms to make sure that I don't miss any of your comments, and make sure that I'm here in my X Pro account. Let me see. X Pro is gonna do the thing. We're gonna be talking about a lot of topics today. I really wanted to do a show yesterday, but I took it lazier than usual. Maybe Saturday could be my actual rest day. May say saying that last minute messages. Canadian border minister. A couple of things that I have to add here to my Trudeau section. We're going to be talking about Kash Patel, who just became Trump's pitch for the FBI. That's going to be interesting. We're going to be talking about Keir Starmer. We're going to be talking about Justin Trudeau. Let me see a couple of things and even more. I don't know how long it's going to be this show. But since we have no time limit, we can take all the time that we need. Just make sure that I have everything under control in my side of it. Everything. Oh. All right. About to begin. You know how it is. We always make sure that we have everything under control before we actually begin. Why something here is not working. Something here is not working as it should. Wait a second. Okay. Just a second, we are about to begin. Once we begin, we can go all the way. I want to start with a meme, by the way. Just making sure that everything here in the back is working properly. Let me... I'm going to do this. Let's do a couple things. All right. It should be working. Let me see. How about first image? We have our first image of tonight. We're gonna have this quite a show tonight. Let me see. Close everything that I don't need here. I have your lovely messages and your lovely chat right by my side so I can see all that you're saying. Some of you really like Sunday shows. Let me see. But I have a bit of a trouble. I'm gonna explain what kind of trouble we have. Is the trouble the good kind of trouble? What is the good kind of trouble that I don't see? All right. I'm looking at your comments much better right now because I needed that right here, and I also needed all the control. I was testing another a different area for my. It's the kind of things that I can only test when we actually start the show, because that's when everything pops up. Well, I think we can start with. I want to start with this image. I want to start with this image because, well, it's, you know, that we already think or have this sensation that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is going to be a big pitch in 2028. And if anything has, well, if I have learned anything in the past 6 months, is that, well, 6 months go really fast, and 4 years is only 8 times that. So when you do the math, yeah, we have to be thinking 4 years into the future. This is crazy, right? One has to learn how to savor the moment, like they are savoring here. Bernie, why are you putting your hands on her like that? I would like to know. I understand that Bernie is her mentor, right? Is her mentor, and some of you really don't like the idea, but I do like the idea. That would be fun, and so much I like the idea that I had to repost this. That this is somebody, well, not somebody, Leonardo 618. Leonard 0.618. Leonard, the only reason why I post your meme because I look horrible here. I look like Tom Bauer. This is like a huge Tom Bauer. I look like Tom Bauer, not like Bernie Sanders. It's like Bernie at least has a bit of hair. No, like I look like a Latino Tom Bauer. But I retweeted you, and I'm posting you here for everybody to see in my show because you have 0.618 in your handle, and if we are part of that team. If you know what 0.618 means, then we can be friends. And also you have bacon and eggs. I don't eat a bacon since a long time ago, by the way, but reasons, haram and all that stuff. But eggs, yes, eggs is still part of my diet. So, but nice meme. Is he her baby daddy? Oh my God, we're gonna start. This is too early for this, Courtney. This is too early for this. This is way too early. We have a lot of a show, and in general terms, we need to. This is a friendly reminder. I came up with this for a number of reasons that we're gonna be seeing in today's show. I am once again asking you to stop making stupid people famous, but it's so hard because say the stupid people are sometimes so amusing and are the source of memes, and we have a lot of memes in this in today's show. But also we have some. Well, this is not a meme. This is an actual thing. These snowflakes wouldn't withstand 1 week in Caracas. Rob Reiner, I have made the decision to take the next few days to check into a facility for peace and relaxation. Let me see if my chair... No, my chair is going back. My chair shouldn't be doing that. My chair... As I'm telling you, it's Sunday. I have to fix my chair. All right. Now, I need this support. So I can go for, 1 hour, 2 hours? I don't know. I have made a decision to take the next few days to check into a facility for peace and relaxation. No phones, social media, no trolls, just calmness to heal my pain. I mean, it's that painful that Trump won the elections. These people are really in a bad place mentally. And Alyssa Milano, I understand that Alyssa Milano left X completely, but she just went for Blue Sky. So if you want to still follow Alyssa Milano, if that is on your menu, if you're into that sort of things, well, you can follow her and Rob Reiner into Blue Sky. But Rob is gonna take going to have. It needs a pause from this. In the serious side of things, just in, President Joe Biden walks out of bookstore with a deeply anti-Israel book. Biden is holding the 100 Years War on Palestine, which argues that Palestine is justified in killing Israelis. Is he just trying to be ultra-educated and understand the other side? I mean, it's a book, but at the same time, it could be a book. If I go out of a bookstore, nobody would care. Okay, nobody would care. But this is Biden, and he's actually, is he holding the book upside down? He's holding the book upside down, but this is a message as well. You know that what is going on in the Middle East? I am not going to go into those details in this show. I am not ready yet to, delve into what is going on in the Middle East. At some point I will, but this will always be some sort of message. This will be some sort of message, and you know that the Israel-Palestine conflict, in terms of the United States needs Israel as a partner, as an ally. That is something. That is absolutely something that it's needed. I remember there's I'm seeing one. I will try to do something here. I will try to do something here and make sure that I have ready my memes. Well, I have another meme, something that I had shared a while ago. Oh, you can see this. Can I play this with sound? Yes, we can. This is a classic. Somebody. Okay, enough. It's something that someone just retweeted that on my timeline, reminded me of that, and I just had to share that with you. So many things happen. Oh, why are you going so serious, so fast, Jesus? We need more memes. We need to laugh at things, but I can't help, because we need to talk about this things like the White House. The White House plans to send as much money and military equipment as possible to Ukraine before Trump takes office. As much as possible. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan: Biden directed me to oversee a massive surge in the military equipment to Ukraine, so that we have spent whatever. Let's see what the guy says.
What are you telling your Ukrainian counterparts about American support in 51 days after Biden leaves office?
Well, first, what I'm saying is we are going to do everything in our power for these 50 days to get Ukraine all the tools we possibly can to strengthen their position on the battlefield, so that they'll be stronger at the negotiating table. And President Biden directed me to oversee a massive surge in the military equipment that we are delivering to Ukraine, so that we have spent every dollar that Congress has appropriated to us by the time that President Biden leaves office. So that's first and foremost what we're focused on. And then I've encouraged the Ukrainian team to engage the incoming team, as well as to engage all of our allies and partners, because, again, on January 21st, the war in Ukraine doesn't just go away.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows if it can go away? It's that simple. But one person that is going away, that's also going away, is George Clooney. He's fuming. I don't know. I'm afraid of reading this out loud. I'm sure that somebody could take this out of context, but I don't care. George Clooney is fuming. He was seduced by Barack Obama to put boot into Joe Biden before being blamed for Trump win. Yeah, this was a complete cluster F. This was a mess. And I think George is having huge regrets about this. Is having huge regrets about endorsing whatever was that. You remember that he endorsed Biden. He made that event, and they had this $30 million. They could raise this $30 million, and 3 weeks afterwards, he was telling Biden publicly, just a step down, just a step aside, bro. Step aside. It's nonsensical. This is important as well. There's something that is hit close to home in my hometown, Venezuela. Senator Rick Scott. Today I stand with Maria Corina Ya, President-elect Edmundo, GU, and Venezuelans around the world making their voices heard against the illegitimate regime and its brutal oppression. We know that there was one protest, Venezuelan protests today. There is a new day of freedom coming for Venezuela soon, and I won't stop my fight until this day comes. Ya basta. So, this is something that we're going to see from January 10 and onwards. We are a bit more of 1 month away, because in January 10 is the day that Edmundo should become the president of Venezuela, because he was elected. But we know that these people are not going to go that easily. So we have to wait until then. It's part of the process. You know that I'm absolutely, impatient about this. I'm impatient about this. I wanted to think that this is going to be easy, and that maybe the United States can give a hand once Trump takes office. I'm still not holding high hopes for that, because Trump already has a lot to do with the U.S. and that starts. Let's talk about some memes. Remember to follow the Rican memes on X, Politarican. He's got very good memes, including this one. I'm not gonna put the sound. I'm not gonna put the sound, but the video is more than enough to be a perfect representation. You know that this is something that we need to study. I should make a video about the importance of memetic warfare, because memetic warfare is a thing. We can send so many ideas and so many, how can I say this? We can transform people's way of thinking through memes. Yeah, we can mock a lot of things, but we can say the truth at the same time, because you know what I've told you about humor. One thing about humor is that it tells the truth. The way that humor lands is that it tells the truth. Donald J. Trump, I am proud to announce that Kash Patel would serve as the next director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Kash is a brilliant lawyer, investigator, and America First fighter who has spent his career exposing corruption, defending justice, and protecting the American people. He played a pivotal role in uncovering the Russia hoax, standing as an advocate for truth, accountability, and the Constitution. Kash did an incredible job during my first term, where he served as Chief of Staff at the Department of Defense, Deputy Director of National Intelligence, and Senior Director for Counterterrorism at the National Security Council. Kash has also tried over 60 jury trials. This FBI will end the growing crime epidemic in America, dismantle the migrant criminal gangs, and stop the evil scourge of human and drug trafficking across the border. Kash will work under our great Attorney General, Pam Bondi, to bring back fidelity, bravery, and integrity to the FBI. And the left is already screaming. Their minds are being blown. They are in total meltdown, and especially because Kash Patel has joined X. If you're on X, remember to follow Kash Patel. I already did. I want to. This is important. Why is Kash Patel such a big deal? Even people who don't like Kash Patel have nice takes on this. School me on Kash Patel, both good and bad. What are his plans? He basically wants to destroy the FBI as we know it today. He's spent years and years defending Trump from the swamp and has a vendetta against the FBI for its treason during Trump's administration. He also is extremely into the whole Epstein shit and will probably release all the info they have on it. He's an extremely anti-establishment person and will be a strong ally to Trump and to America First patriots. So this is going to be huge. This is going to be huge. And as some people have pointed out, you want the guy with the crazy stare to rule over the FBI. I don't know, being a bit crazy sometimes, it's a good thing. To remember Martin Riggs, if he's Martin Riggs level crazy, who remembers who Martin Riggs is? One of my favorite characters of cinema ever. If you're Martin Riggs level crazy, you have my vote, or you have my endorsement. Everyone is ready for cash. It's time to cash in. Patel, a former prosecutor and intelligence official, vows radical reforms, including, but not limited to, closing the FBI Hoover building and turning it into a museum of the deep state. Yeah, Bobcat Wolfenstein, Martin Riggs is the main character from the Lethal Weapon series, played by the always great Mel Gibson. Yeah, that's the crazy stuff that we need. And well, the meltdown is because this kind of clips. Let's watch these clips so you can understand the things better. Yes, so Sonia K8416 also got the Lethal Weapon, and Sarah D, the Lethal Weapon reference. Okay, this is muted. Why is this muted?
We need a 24/7 declassification office, whatever you want to call it. Transparency, truth, whatever, I don't care. Sits in the White House, reports directly to you, and you take incoming from the United States of America. I want JFK. I want the 9/11 files. I want this. I want that. All the FBI, and this is a tool, this is something we didn't cover.
Imagine that. JFK, 9/11, the Jeffrey Epstein list, the Diddy tapes, everything. This is gonna be a complete meltdown. I mean, the question is if he's going to be, approved by the Senate, and I don't know. I'm not holding my breath for Democrat senators because I know that they are all part of the swamp as well. They're all part of the swamp as well.
What the deep state uses the most to cover up their corruption is an illegal application of the classification system.
Yeah, because they classify everything so nobody can see what's inside the black boxes. But he wants to open the black boxes for everybody to see.
Remember the Lovebirds text from, this is a beauty, the Lovebirds text from FBI, DOJ land, Russiagate, Strzok and Page were texting each other. They were running the Russiagate investigation against Trump. They were the head of the counterintelligence unit at the FBI. And they're having an extramarital affair together. Can't make this stuff up. They're sending each other texts about how much they hate Trump.
We need that in a series, a documentary, a book, whatever. I will watch, pay good money to watch a miniseries of this.
And are going to create an insurance policy to stop Trump. Then we finally find those text messages. You know what the FBI and DOJ do for like a year? Redact them to congressional investigators and congressional men and women running the oversight of their agency.
Yes, he absolutely wants to unredact. Is that possible? Unredact things. You know that they put this huge black markers over things. You can't see names. You can't see anything of that.
That's just one example. But it gets even better. Here's the deep state full circle. Just last week, do you know what Strzok and Page received from the Department of Justice?
What?
A $1.5 million payout to settle a lawsuit that Strzok and Page brought for the improper disclosure of their personal text messages on FBI phones.
So people are really protected. So many people that are protected. I don't know. I have high hopes that this is going to make such a massive change in stuff, in things in the United States, and by extension in the world. I get this question a lot. Why are you so interested in the United States? Because this is the moment that we could see actual change. They can make so many things possible. They can unredact, that they can declassify all the stuff, see what really happened, fix the Middle East, fix the mass deportations that so many people say that you will not be able to do that. We're going to be talking about mass deportations today, and looking at you, Kathy Hochul. And if this works, it's going to be an example for the world. So no matter where you live, this is going to be an example for the Western world. And the Western world, leaders of the Western world, will have to say, well, we are with this or we are against this. It's that simple. It's going to be black and white. And some of them are not going to survive. And looking at you, Justin Trudeau. I'm looking at you, Justin Trudeau. We're going to be talking about Trudeau in a minute.
And the DOJ just rewarded them. They broke the law. They broke the chain of command. They broke every regulation there is in the FBI. They weaponized the system of justice against a political target they hated. We found those text messages, and we got them declassified finally in full when I became Deputy Director of National Intelligence. And the world has now seen them, and they can read them. And that's the best form of transparency. That's why I want this 24/7 declassification office.
Yeah, a complete declassification office. Maybe it's gonna be a complete a shitstorm. That is gonna be a shitstorm. The best thing that I could come up with is that the people in the evil side of things are trying to negotiate in some form who's going to be the scapegoats, because it's not going to be only one. We're talking about every single industry is has been spied by the FBI, and if all this is declassified, well, they will need at least like 100 of them. Only with the Epstein files. Can you imagine the full Epstein files released? That would be just magical. The problem is if he gets to be approved, if he gets to do that. And the other question is, I'm completely ignorant about that part. Can they, I don't know, shred documents, put all the CDs in the microwave, destroy the VHS tapes? I don't know. Is that a thing that you could do? Is something that can happen? A mysterious fire in the vault that has all that stuff. I don't know. So much things that can happen. You remember Breaking Bad with the magnet episode? Yeah, magnets. They tried to remove the content of a laptop with a magnet.
Don't have me regurgitate it to you. Read it. Get the documents, get the files, get the memos. But the deep state came full circle and gave these guys a payday for rigging a presidential election and breaking the law.
This is the kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff that we're dealing with. Benny Johnson, Trump's new FBI Director Kash Patel, details comprehensive declassification operation under second Trump term. He's going to come in there and maybe give them the Epstein list, maybe give them the PDD list, and they are terrified. I hope that maybe is not that. There's also this clip we should watch. Let's see if we can have good.
Who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book?
FBI.
But who? That is that. I mean, there's.
Oh, that's under direct control of the director of the FBI.
All right. Direct control.
Just like the manifesto from the Nashville school shooting of the Catholic school.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen that, right? It's not the Nashville police or PD saying we don't want this out. The FBI airmailed into that operation and said this is not getting out.
Why so much secrecy? Is that, oh, it's for safety of whom? We wanted to know. We need
Because
to know.
they do that because this is another government gangster operation. All these local law enforcement communities get funding from the DOJ and FBI for local programs. And if you don't cooperate, you're not getting your $1 million for this, and you're not getting and that's a lot of money to these local districts. That's how they play the game. That's why you don't have a black book.
But the black book, it's not just sitting. I mean, that's Hoover power times 10.
And to me, that's a thing I think President Trump should run on. On day one, roll out the black book.
Roll out the black book, open the black book, open the Pandora's box, and all these people. Yeah, I'm sure that it's like people like the Obamas, for example. We're talking about the Obamas. They would have some kind of insurance. Okay, if they are smart enough, they would have some kind of insurance. What kind of insurance I'm talking about? Well, that if this explodes, then they would not be that affected. Maybe they will be affected, but not as much as the scapegoats. That's why I tell you that behind closed doors, under the perspective of this, of the possibility of this happening, they must be stabbing each other like there's no tomorrow.
And not just that. On day one, roll out all of the text messaging communications we were told were deleted. On day one, play the rest of the video of the pipe bomber. On day, one of the reforms I talk about in government gangsters is you need a central node to be continuously declassifying. This is another thing they do. They overclassify. And I'm telling you, as a former number 2 in the IC, they overclassify 50% of the stuff there to protect the deep state. Oh, no.
Oh, the deep state. And, the deep state. The deep state doesn't exist. The deep state doesn't exist. It does exist. It does exist. And the FBI protects the deep state. Donald Trump has a unique opportunity to clean this slate in a way that nobody has done before. The question is, if the powers that will, especially the Senate, will allow him, we're gonna see this development with the senators, and really see who is, I'm going to say, not loyal to Donald Trump. The idea is, he's only picking people that are loyal to him. Everybody who becomes president is going to pick people that are loyal to him. That is absurd. But I mean, being loyal to the American people, being loyal to morality, being loyal to dignity. You think these senators, all of them, I don't care from which side they are going to do the right thing? Are going to do the right thing? I hope so.
Nothing to see here. Gina was a master at it, of doing it. And we still haven't seen half of the Russiagate report that we wrote. Still under lock and key. On how the ICA was originally constructed. We put 10,000 man-hours against John Brennan's team that did it. And we found out why they came up with their bogus conclusions. But we couldn't sell it to the world because we couldn't talk about it, and the government gangsters came in and buried it. All of these things, there needs to be a continuing central power, whether it's the White House or offsite, that says every request that comes in, just right out the door, as long as it's not a major threat to national security.
Because if you have a threat to national security, okay, you keep it on the wraps, but some other things, 9/11, you can't just declassify the whole thing, and that would be much better. I really hope, I sincerely hope that this works. Yeah, normally the rhinos are a huge problem. Republicans in name only. That is my concern. That is my concern. Maybe was going to say something. I have to be careful with the things that I say. In general, Diddy has the black books hidden in his cell. Yeah, Princess Dumbarton, we will have a barrel of fun and then some. And then some. Speaking of barrel of fun, somebody who only seemed to have fun was Justin Trudeau at Mar-a-Lago. Thanks for dinner last night, President Trump. I look forward to the work we can do together again. And what is this about? Why did Kash Trudeau fly directly to Mar-a-Lago like an emergency flight to meet with Donald Trump? And Donald Trump had the courtesy of receiving him and I guess having a good time. But even so, we have this let's say screenshot, thanks to Canadian Jam for sharing this, what Trudeau looked like before he put on his fake smile coming out of the elevator. And Canadian Jam made us screenshot that tells you, well, all that you need to know in terms of body language about this meeting between Trudeau and Donald Trump. Oh, he was not pleased. He was not pleased. He knows that he has to do something about this. He's going to be crushed with tariffs. Tariffs is the name of the game. I'm going to play this clip. I think the sound is not going to be necessary. We see that face, and then he does the lips inwards and looking down. Where's your usual smile, Kash Trudeau? Where's your usual smile? Your shit-eating grin. Where is that? I want to see it. Oh yeah. He began his usual stick afterwards. I think that this is the full scale of the clip. But this Trump was very clear about this. I just had a very productive meeting with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. We discussed many important topics that will require both countries to work together. Fentanyl and drug crisis had decimated so many lives. Illegal immigration, fair trade deals, massive trade deficit the U.S. has with Canada. It made it very clear that the United States will no longer sit idly by as our citizens become victims to the scourge of this drug epidemic caused by drug cartels and fentanyl pouring in from China. Too much death and hardship. Prime Minister Trudeau has made a commitment to work with us to end this terrible devastation of U.S. families. We also spoke about many other important topics like energy. You know that since a long time ago, we have all this carbon tax in Canada. A lot of noise about that, and I was amused about this picture. I mean, I don't know many people in this picture. We had Trudeau and Trump. It seems that they were having a good time. They were having a good time, and I found really funny that this lady, I guess, I don't know. This is what I think that this is what Canadians think about Kash Trudeau. I think what Canadians think about Kash Trudeau. But well, he was received. Yeah, it's like Trump is like acting like he's the sitting president. He's acting like he's the sitting president. No, Joe Biden is not around. Joe Biden is not around. You know that Biden is on holiday. You know that Kamala is on holiday. They are just they just came out of the puppet closet. We know that there are the puppets and no more. And the AI stuff. The AI stuff did not wait. Couldn't wait. It was important. Autism capital. Someone needs to Photoshop Trump giving Trudeau milk here like the Gretchen with her meme. And Gator Gar always makes nice meme. Yelly Gator Gar on X. Good night, X, and made the meme. This is a bit disturbing, but thank you, Gator Gar, for your service. Thank you for that. And we also have a couple things about the things, the inside jokes about this. Steven Tyler, not that Steven Tyler, another Steven Tyler. It is rumored that at the Mar-a-Lago meeting Trudeau was summoned to, he was told 8 out of 10 Canadians would get back more in tariff rebates than they paid. This is the joke that comes from last week, that he was responding to criticism of the carbon tax, saying that Canadians like the carbon tax, and 8 out of 10 Canadians get back more in rebates than what they pay in the carbon tax. It's like, this is, I'm going to post this video from June. This was from June, and I'm going to play this so you judge for yourself. Is this how this works?
We're dropping inflation, and we're being there for Canadians, not with cuts and austerity, and we're going to keep doing that. And on the carbon price, it actually puts more money in the pockets of 8 out of 10 Canadian families. That's a parliamentary budget officer who says that. It's absolutely true.
You know how Joshua Lysek, the ghostwriter, says when they use bad verbs, it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. You know that, no, I have my doubts. I have my doubts about that, Kash Trudeau.
It's absolutely true.
How does that work? How does that taxing people more puts more money on people's pockets? That is defying the laws of thermodynamics. That doesn't work like that. It shouldn't work like that. And back, it was like 1 week ago, starting December 14, Canadians are getting a tax break. We're passing GST and HST on groceries, kids' clothes, and other everyday essentials. You know that you're pausing this for 2 months. You're pausing this stuff for 2 months. I want to understand what happens after the 2 months. What happens after those 2 months? You begin taxing people again? This is the kind of things that I don't like. Like, you could do this at any point. When your popularity begins dropping, then you say, oh, I'm going to give some tax relief so people are happy again. You know, there's something that I have to tell you, Kash Trudeau. I hate when for example, when I used to use Adobe products, and when you're going to cancel your subscription, so many companies start, oh, you're going to cancel your subscription. Don't go away. We're going to give you 2 months for free if you don't go away. And I tell them, fuck's sake, I've been your client for years, and you at no point have given me any sort of freebie or rebate or anything for free. When the moment comes that I want to leave your shitty service, and by the way, I left Adobe products for good like 6 months ago, best decision in my life, then you want to give me 2 months for free? F you! That is spitting on my face as a client. I'm a loyal client for years, and when I say no, I'm not gonna be using your service anymore, then you give me 2 months for free. You should do that, like, spontaneously, without me asking for it. But no, that is you feel like duped, right? Like you pay every month, and all of a sudden they want to buy you with this cheap offer. That is what Trudeau is. That is what Trudeau is doing. It's a cheap offer. But we have this last minute on Bloomberg. December 1, this is from today, Canadian border minister says that new measures are imminent after Trump meeting. More drones, helicopters, are all possible. Mr. said sides may meet again on border in coming weeks. Oh, maybe this will work. Maybe this will work. But we need to talk about another topic. We need to talk about another topic. In this case is Keir Starmer. I don't know how people still call this guy sir. I don't know how that people call this guy sir. Oh, some of you liking my tie. Thank you. Yeah, this is one of the ties that one of my favorite ones. Very comfortable. Yeah, ties can be comfortable. Sometimes are not that comfortable because they are maybe too thick or maybe too thin. It's rather confusing. The thinner ties can be rather uncomfortable, especially because you usually do a single knot, but I usually prefer the double knot, so they don't work as well as the double knot doesn't work as well when you wear a thinner tie. CW, I love when he cusses. Oh yes, you know that I try to keep that to a minimum. Sometimes I do it. Adobe products, Adobe as a company certainly deserves that. Some of you might be asking, what do you do? I use DaVinci Resolve and Affinity Photo. This is not an endorsement or a commercial, but I was like forced to do it. There was an opportunity back in June, I think, or May. Because what about a bow tie? The issue is that a bow tie works. Bow tie. Is bow or bow? Well, it's that kind of tie. That kind of tie doesn't work with my head shape. Okay, my head shape is quite squarish. So a bow tie works more with an elongated face, like a thinner face. I don't have a face for a bow tie, so I stay away from those. I don't like the way this is much more stylish. Bow is that a bow tie? Bow tie. All right, learning English, because English makes no sense sometimes. Oh, Pamela, you get it. Jesus doesn't look like a bow tie person. Yeah, I am not a bow tie person. I am a usual, regular bow tie person. Let's talk about Keir Starmer. Holy shit. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer just admitted that Western leaders have been running an open borders experiment. Open borders experiments. This happened by design, not accident. Immigration policies were reformed deliberately. It has been a failure. They pretended it wasn't happening. I'm going to play the video so you hear it for yourself, because it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe.
What the British people are owed is an explanation. Because a failure on this scale isn't just bad luck. It isn't a global trend or taking your eye off the ball. No, this is a different order of failure. This happened by design, not accident. Policies were reformed deliberately to liberalise immigration. Brexit was used for that purpose, to turn Britain into a one-nation experiment in open borders. Global Britain. Remember that slogan? That is what they meant. A policy with no support, and which they then pretended wasn't happening.
So the question is, The question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to deport en masse? Are you going to take them back? Is that out of context? I would like to let's pretend for a second that this was out of context. Let's think that this was out of context. You know that people on X, that's one of the things that I like about X. If this was taken out of context and I saw this clip more than once on my timeline, we would see community notes. Okay, he was talking about a quote on a book or a quote somewhere else on a quote from some other people, and this was, made to be misleading that he was saying this. But we got I mean, we have accounts like Geiger Capital. Geiger Capital, it's I follow Geiger Capital, is usually spot on. And well, you would know if this was taken out of context just because the tweet by Geiger Capital got to 56 million impressions. 56 million impressions, which is quite a lot, and almost 9,000 replies. That is brutal. That is brutal. So yeah, if this was not if this was not legit, it absolutely would have community notes. So he's saying that this was an experiment by design. When did you realize it exactly, Keir? Did you realize it on November 30? I mean, this was in November 29. Maybe you realized it the day before. Did you realize it years before? When did you have this certain realization that Brexit was this experiment? Because if you had this realization, you had enough time from Brexit up to this point, watching all that was happening in the UK, to say, oh yeah, this is not working. This is not working. If I ever become prime minister, I should do something about this, because it's not working, because it's an experiment, because it's by design, and it's, essentially destroying the UK from within. And if you respect your country in any way, you should do something about this. I don't know, Brendan G., didn't the UK Open Borders project begin under Tony Blair? Yeah, I don't know, but the Tories were sitting on their arses like for years, and they did nothing. Why? Because nobody wanted to be called a racist. Nobody wanted to be called a xenophobe. Nobody wanted to be called names. This is the problem. These governments are comprised of way too many people that are afraid of being called names. Is that silly? Is that simple? And it's sad. They don't have the cojones to do the stuff, the hard stuff. And I'm just going to play this clip again so you understand that this realization is evil, because this is not something that you had a sudden realization. Keir Starmer, you didn't have a sudden realization. You knew this a long time ago, and you haven't done anything about this. Haven't done anything about this.
What the British people are owed is an explanation.
What is the explanation? No. What the British people are owed is actions, is close the borders. It's as simple as that. Get Macron on the phone and tell him and speak to him in the same terms as Donald Trump could talk to Sheinbaum of Mexico. I don't know, that maybe that works. Like, don't allow these people to send any more illegals. Is that simple? It should be simple. Oh no, well then you will be called a racist and a xenophobe and the other phobe that you know that it is way worse in the UK nowadays.
Because a failure on this scale isn't just bad luck. It isn't a global trend or taking your eye off the ball.
No, it is a global trend. It is a global trend. It is a global trend and part of the 2030 agenda, the globalist agenda. Let's erase the borders. Let's erase the identity of countries. Let's erase the meaning of tradition and culture. Let's erase everything that comprises the values and principles of a nation. And let's erase the identity of a nation itself and marginalize the people who have defended that country for years and decades in help of what? Of people that are coming to these countries to not adapt, not learn the language, not care about law, commit crimes? Is that how it works? Oh, well, yes, that is by design. They do all this to create chaos. And now, I guess that after Donald Trump won the elections, then you're going to see this kind of things. They will try to backtrack and, I have known this since the beginning. Maybe it was Tony Blair, maybe it was the Tories, maybe it was Labour and the Tories, and maybe we can have a sliver of hope with reform, but I don't know. I wish that reform was an actual solution to this. I wish that we give them the opportunity. The UK gives reform the opportunity to do something, anything. But so many people, including in reform, don't want to be called names. They need more Latinos in there. You know, we are not afraid of being called names. There are all these memes of Latinos being called names. Let me see if I can find this. I can find that one. We are not afraid of that. I found it. I find exactly what I wanted to show you. But in the UK, there's not one single politician that I said, okay, this guy has the right stuff that is needed to do the things, to do the hard stuff. Here it is. This is the one. Hispanics, when you call them a slur, call us racist, call us xenophobes, call us whatever you want. Oh, when you call us Latinx or whatever, however that is pronounced, that's when we get mad. But this is betraying your country. And this is not only the UK, it's Canada as well. It has been the US as well. It has been all the Western countries. Europe is being invaded. And it's all by design. Oh, and the Starmer
This is a different order of failure. This happened by design, not accident. Policies were reformed deliberately to liberalise immigration. Brexit was used for that purpose, to turn Britain into a one-nation experiment in open borders.
Not only Britain, all of Europe.
Global Britain. Remember that slogan?
Yeah, Global Britain. Who came up with that? Who came up with that? This is the problem. This is the issue with these people. And they want to backtrack. They want to act as if none of that ever happened. They want to act as if, we just realized that this was a bad idea to let all these people inside the country and just destroy the makeshift of our country because we have some kind of guilt. I have to believe that they have some kind of I don't know, guilt. A lot of them are just plain evil. But so many people in every country have this huge guilt about, I don't know. I don't know. It's like in Germany. It's like they have weaponized their World War II guilt against themselves. Generations after World War II, they still have that guilt. We have to destroy ourselves as a nation. We deserve to be destroyed as a nation. It's something that I cannot wrap my mind around that. But at the same time, I need to talk at some point about Hispanic countries, because Hispanic countries, let's say Spanish-speaking countries, if you will, we have our own issues. Every country has their own issues, but we need to be proud of the country that, let's say, the country that we choose for ourselves. Sometimes we choose a hosting country. Sometimes we decide to go to another country because for reasons, different reasons. Some people sometimes don't like the country they were born in. Sometimes people are forced to leave the country they were born in. But the idea is to respect the country that hosts you. And, well, at some point, maybe even promote the country that hosts you. That should be a thing. But in terms of immigration, we have another clip from the border czar, Tom Homan. I don't think that I have the right subtitles. Let me generate the subtitles very quickly. And we'll be talking about Kathy Hochul as well. Incoming border czar Tom Homan warns governors and mayors who have vowed to protect illegal aliens, do not harbor and conceal an illegal alien because it is a crime. Don't impede us because it's a crime. Don't obstruct because it is a crime. It's everything that you are doing, letting illegals inside the country or your state, it is a crime. Obstructing justice is a crime. And all of you, all these governors and mayors that want to, send some kind of virtue signaling. They want to virtue signal, we are going to protect illegals at all costs. They should be removed as soon as possible. They should be voted out. And the people that vote for those suckers in the first place, what are you thinking? What the hell are you thinking?
If they don't want to help, instead decide don't help, fine, don't help. But don't get in our way. And I've said this for the past week over and over again. Do not harbor and conceal an illegal alien, knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from us because it's a crime. Don't impede us because it's a crime. Don't obstruct because it's a crime. If you want to sit aside and let us do your job of securing the communities, fine, we'll do that. But don't cross that line.
We also have the guy from Denver, the Denver mayor. CNN's Casey Hunt visibly stunned after playing a clip of Tom Homan saying he would gladly throw Denver Mayor Mike Johnston in jail for defying Trump's deportation operation. This is the best video you will watch all day.
I think we will see Denverites and folks around the country who will nonviolently resist that.
Me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail.
It is that simple. It's straight to the point. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail. That is nice when people get, to an agreement. That is a nice agreement. That agreement works for me in many ways. And Kathy, what's going on with Kathy Hochul? Kathy Hochul, what is going on? What is happening? The tide is turning finally. Did these people just wake up one day and say, "Oh, you know what? We should do something about this"? But let's hear it from herself. It's much
Our
better.
immigration system is
It'd be rise the volume of this.
woefully broken. It's been broken for decades. There was an opportunity to make meaningful change that the Republicans in the House of Representatives killed, and they should be held accountable for that. But we need to fix the border, fix the system.
No, we know that the border bill was about, and if I see one more person or entity mentioning the border bill, I'm going to have an actual meltdown. Going to have an actual meltdown. Every single person I ask, the border bill that Donald Trump took down, did you read the border bill? Did you understand what it entailed? No, that's the problem. You think, the border bill was taken out. That is just hogwash. You know that these people are not serious.
But I'll tell you this. Those who come here legally, we want to get them jobs.
Okay, that sounds fine. Maybe I could move to New York at some point. I would like to. I love New York, by the way. I want New York to be great again. But the naked druggies hitting police cars in the street with steel rods, that part maybe they could clean up that part before I arrive, because I don't like that stuff. I don't like that stuff. No.
I have 460,000 open jobs in the state of New York. I want them to get the proper work permits.
I wouldn't need a job. I just need a camera and a mic, and I'm fine. Thank you.
I want them to keep their temporary protective status, if that's what they have. I want to make sure that they're part of contributing to society while they're here.
Yeah, the legal ones. Then why don't you kick out the illegal ones? Why don't you just literally close the Roosevelt Hotel and just end this madness? So you're talking about the legals. You know how many resources you have to help legal immigrants, entrepreneurs, everybody. If you just get rid of the illegals, that would be a ton of money. It will save a ton of money. See what else she has to say.
That's separate from people who are criminals. Someone breaks the law, I'll be the first one to call up ICE and say, get them out of here.
All right. Why do we see so many people, including, but not limited to, Venezuelans, like those from the gang Tren de Aragua, who commit crimes over and over again, and this catch and release over and over again, 7, 8, 9 times? How does that happen? This is just words, no actions.
So there is a difference in categories of individuals. And so I just had a meeting this morning with my team that's been studying all the scenarios that could play out.
I can imagine that team, absolutely. I have no proof, but no doubts either, that her team looks like that Jaguar ad, like full DEI.
Over the next few months, and what we need to do to prepare. We'll be announcing more about that, and also making sure that our final requests to the Biden administration are secure.
What kind of requests, if I might ask? I have a problem here trying to...
And so that's something else. Again, I'll do a report on what we've achieved in the next couple of weeks.
So just to be clear, are you supportive or not supportive of deporting undocumented immigrants whose only crime is either crossing the border or overstaying?
Very good question. I need to repeat that. Just to be clear, are you supportive or not supportive of deporting undocumented immigrants whose only crime is either crossing the border or overstaying? Oh, let's see what she answers.
If they're here with legal papers, like they came and they're seeking asylum, like the 224,000 people came to New York.
250,000 people seeking asylum. Yeah.
They're here legally in search of asylum.
No. You did not understand the question. You did not understand the question. They came into the country illegally. They committed a crime. They committed a crime. They are already criminals. This is the problem. This is how these people want to get away with that. And this is the kind of discussions I had with so many, including Venezuelans, before the elections. Oh, no, every single migrant was illegal at some point. That is nonsense. That is nonsense. They want to, they are not illegals. They are seeking asylum. How did they enter the country? How did they enter the country? Not at the port of entry? Then they committed a crime. That is the question. No, this is all words. She wants to appear like we have all this for legal. Notice the gaslighting. Well, I'm going to finish this clip.
And that process will play out. But there are other people who commit crimes or are known to be criminals before they arrived here. When those are identified, I'll be the...
When those are identified, we have identified them when you catch and then release them several times. Can you phone your judges and have a word or two with them?
First one to help get rid of them. I don't want them here. I don't want anybody terrorizing my citizens.
I will save my words. I will save my words. But this is the gaslighting. This is a very elaborate, not that elaborate gaslighting, because they think that we are not aware of the way that they speak. She says that our immigration system is woefully broken, and we need to fix the border. But I'll tell you this: those who come here legally, that is, what do you mean by those who come here legally? Because I'm sure that if I was there as, asking questions, I would ask the question, what do you mean by coming here legally? Because if you mean of those who cross the border illegally and then reach New York by some magic fairy dust, they just materialize in New York, are they illegal? Oh, they are looking for asylum. They are asylum seekers. So they enter the country illegally, but they are legal in the sense that they are asylum seekers. You are still part of the problem. You don't want to fix New York. You want to make it seem like you're doing something, like the border bill. This is the problem with these politicians. They have to be voted out, and we need to some way make the people who vote for them realize that they are a problem. They're the problem. It's so easy. You see New York turn to shit, you know why it has turned to shit. You need to know the numbers. The problem that the numbers usually only appear on X because it's the only social media, the only platform, and of course here on YouTube or on Rumble, thanks to yours truly, in which we can know what is going on. Because if people vote without knowing what's going on, then how can they understand what's the problem? And all this Democrat, all these libtards, they keep voting for the things that they don't want in their city. They don't want the crime. They don't want the illegals. They don't want the Tren de Aragua. They don't want any of that. Nobody, well, I would say that at least, at a minimum, 10% of those libtards are deranged enough to say, oh, I love illegal immigrants. Oh, I love those gang members. We need to give them a chance. Maybe they were, maybe their parents did not hug them when they were children. We need to find a way. I don't know. There's so many things that we should be addressing. Let me see. I have a couple more topics for today. I have a couple more topics for today. Just make a fit myself in my chair, and we can. I have a couple more topics that I want to talk about today. Oh, the chat is going nice. The chat is going nice. I have a couple. Let me see. While you are chatting, I forgot that I had a couple things that I wanted to mention. There's one thing that I want to mention. Well, there are like four. I have like four more topics, but I want to. I need to go. I think I have it in here. There's one thing that I wanted to. Here it is. And I needed one reference, was incomplete. A couple insane things happening in the world. Maybe it's gonna be more than 30 minutes. It's gonna be more than 30 minutes. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about some grown-up topics. And let's say how can we talk about this? This is a woman. I really forgot her name. It's like Bonnie Blue or something. This is like something like that. I don't remember her name, but she wants to break the record of being, if you can understand what I mean by being, with 1,000 men in 24 hours. And you know that she already has the physiognomy that she is lost. All right? That she is completely lost. And as Pico says, imagine explaining this to someone from the early 1900s. To apply, email a photo or your ID and a photo of you holding your ID to your face. As Calvin Robinson says, Gabriel, sound the darn trumpet. It is time. How reach this level of depravity? And I need to talk about this. And this other thing, OnlyFans model makes staggering $43 million $43 million in just 1 year on the platform. Sophie Rain revealed in a Thanksgiving post that she's making $4 million per month selling pictures and videos of herself online. I mean, at some point I needed to talk about this. It's something that we need to talk about. It's not even the loss of values. It's like, you know, that many people ask the question, why are these people, this man, mainly it is men, paying these models so much money in tips and subscription and all this when they can find whatever they want for free anywhere else in the internet? I mean, it is quite easy, right? It's as easy as you can imagine, and have a variety. You don't have to settle for one girl. You can just watch thousands of them in minutes. So why does this happen? You might ask. There's a principle in which men are not, well, they are for the flesh. Okay, the flesh is like the hook, the fleshy part, but they are really for the connection. They're looking for a connection. Men nowadays are starved of a connection, and I'm just not justifying. This is not to justify men. This is to say that men are hopeless and hopelessly, well, pathetically looking for a connection, any sort of connection with a woman. And what these women, what they do is that they have this automated way of messaging these men that reach out to them. And many of these men already know that if they are chatting with Sophie, it's not Sophie that they are chatting with. They're chatting with an assistant or something. But those assistants that could be men, which makes that all the more strange and perverted, they make sure that they give these subscribers the girlfriend experience. Like these men who pay for subscriptions and pay for tips for images of videos of this girl or any OnlyFans model, they're looking for the feeling of having an actual girlfriend. Okay? Yeah, it's that pathetic. Is that they are trying to channel, this desire that goes way beyond just the fleshy part. You know, the flesh. They want the connection. They cannot have that connection anywhere else. There is a possibility. There is a possibility which is not good. In fact, in the interviews that I was planning to do, I haven't been able to contact them, but there's this thing with AI which is coming, which is not a solution, which is going to get worse, in fact. But I wanted to interview one of these guys who is developing not only software but hardware, because at some point, not only AI, but robots will take this place for both women and men. I mean, I'm trying to be realistic here. Robots that you will be able, well, the robots will need the fleshy parts as well. But the AI is that you can have an AI girlfriend, and if you have used ChatGPT, you can see that, well, it can be really, really clever in many ways. But some people are created these AI girlfriends that are, well, of course, they are not, it's not a real relationship. You can even adjust how nagging your girlfriend is, or how submissive is, or how bossy, if you want, of what kind of circumstances, or every single part of the interaction, and all of that is, of course, artificial. You know it's artificial, but still they have all the ways of connecting, in this case with a digital persona. You could ask me, what is worse? I really don't know. For women, in the sense of women, I think that it would be better if at least these men who want this connection could do it with an AI. Because the part of the sex work, I don't know, this is still sex work. And I don't think a woman should be happy with herself in the long term. You can have all the millions, but dignity is another thing. And speaking of sex work, that's what I wanted to mention this. Belgium makes sex work a real job with benefits. Starting today, sex workers in Belgium get official labor rights, including health insurance, paid leave, and pensions. This follows a 2022 decision to decriminalize sex work, but now it's being treated like any other job with contracts and protections. Workers can refuse clients, set boundaries, and stop an act at any moment. Employers must jump through hoops for state authorization, meet strict safety rules. This is the kind of things, this is the kind of topics that would be nice to debate live. Have somebody to debate live about these topics. Is this good or bad? Is sex work going to stop? Should it be regulated? It is a good thing. In this case, this is the kind of things, little by little, the Jesus Enrique Rosas show will evolve. I don't have a panel at this time. The idea would be we have to a panel, someone who says, which is pro regulated sex work, and somebody who says that is against sex work in a moral and a spiritual sense. Okay, spiritual sex is nice, by the way, tantric sex. But I'm not talking about that. In a spiritual sense of the word, I am against sex work. I don't think that is morally right. That is not right. The sanctity of sex should be something that is protected, all right? In the sense that it's not just not right. It's the way that I think of it. I should elaborate on this topic. I should write about this. I haven't written in a while for my email list. It would be strange that I don't write through my email list and all of a sudden I begin writing about sex work. But it's something that I should do. It's not right, but I have to be real. That is not going to stop anytime soon. They call it the oldest job in the work. And in the world, it's not going to stop. This is not going to stop anytime soon. So if it is not going to stop, maybe regulating it will be a good idea. But then we jump back to the heart of the matter. Because one thing is maybe you want, you're a man, you're stressed, you need a one-off, and you go for your local girlfriend experience and have a, face-to-face encounter, consensual, commercial, fleshy encounter. Everybody is served. Nothing happens. Nothing bad happens. But the problem is, I think it's much more concerning this part. The millions of men who are craving a connection and cannot even have an actual connection with a woman. That is orders of magnitude worse. Because sex work, we can say the 70s or the 80s, sex work existed and humanity was not as bad in a bad shape. Men were not in such a bad shape as this. This is worse in so many ways. I'm not going to say that the other option is good. I think that this is even worse because it's lack of connection. And men are trying to hijack that lack of connection with a girlfriend, which it could be just a guy at the other end of the text chat, which is odd, right? So I think we are in a spiritual and a mental and an emotional war. I mean, this is simply not right. I mean, some of you could say, oh, but sometimes women, this is the only way that women can get work. I don't think so. I don't think so. In fact, one of the things that I will be covering on my upcoming interviews is how to make money online, not through OnlyFans, of course. So I think that is important as well. I want to talk about so many topics. I have upcoming guests, and that is one thing. Okay, you can make money on OnlyFans. What if you can make money in other ways that are not OnlyFans? That would be a nice idea, right? A nice way. And another thing that I need to point out that many people don't know about this is that these are outliers. These are like 0.0001% of the earners on these platforms. This is not typical. This is like saying that every YouTuber is like Mr. Beast, or any YouTuber can have the success of Mr. Beast. No, that doesn't happen. The vast majority of OnlyFans, let's say models, earn less than, I think, like it's like $200 a month or something like that. So that is the sad reality. You're selling your soul for $200 a month. That is, I don't know. This is not typical. At the same time, it's concerning the lack of connection. Oh, I've seen that Veronica is around here. I saw Veronica. Where's Veronica? Official sex work. Then it's important to request an early retirement. I already wrote to Veronica to interview her. I need to answer your email, Veronica. Haven't had time, but maybe we can make this work. I want to interview you. I'm sure that we can make this work before the end of this year. There were more mortals in the 60s and 70s. I agree with you. Quiet Girl always has solid takes. It's important. Yeah, you could say, some of you are saying that, oh, there's a lot of judgment right here. But tell me, how can we deal with this? How is this a thing? How somebody considers this at any point that this is a good idea? I don't know. This is again, it would be interesting, a panel in which we can see different points of view about this. I am very ambitious for my show. I have only one side, or maybe my opinion, maybe my criteria. It would be interesting to have other criteria. That's why the interviews are for. The interviews are the first step to have other, maybe other points of view. At some point, I will interview people who I disagree with. At some point, I will have panels of people who disagree with each other. At some point, I will have debates here. But give me some time. I will get all that sorted out. But meanwhile, we need to address that men are in dire need of a connection, and they're trying to do it with OnlyFans models or AI girlfriends. And that is the AI girlfriend thing is gonna make the thing even worse. In fact, there's that's why I want to interview one of the guys who is developing an actual device that men could use with this AI girlfriends. I'm not going to elaborate because it's quite adult themed. But you can imagine that what kind of device a device, something physical that can bring those AI girlfriends into the physical. There's something that we need to talk about. We will not do anything. We will do a disservice to the world if we just ignore these topics. In fact, that is what has happened in Europe and the UK about immigration. And in the UK, it has been especially harmful, ignoring all that has happened with this. If you keep ignoring that, That's what makes every single term of every single politician just do the same thing. Oh, because we cannot talk about those topics. We cannot talk. No, we need to address the difficult topics. We have my lovely assistant here. Wow, President Trump plans to seize all the assets of criminal gangs and drug cartels and will use the seized assets to set up a compensation fund for victims of migrant crime. This is great. It was 40 minutes ago. And I need to read my super chats. Veronica, we should talk about AI. You and me should talk about AI. I think our conversation could be a full Joe Rogan, like 3 hours. I know that we could allocate like 3 hours for our conversation. We could talk about so many things. I absolutely know that we could talk about so many things. Make sure that you follow Veronica Olson live talks on YouTube. It is important to talk about these topics. And there's one super chat. Oh, Tony B, thank you for your super chat on YouTube. All I've been listening to you off and on for about 5 years at least. I think happy holidays. I'm sure, Tony, it has been 5 years. I started my YouTube journey 5 years ago. And it was exactly in 2020. It was in 2020 that I started my YouTube channel. And then I immediately switched to English. So yes, it has been 5 years. When it's officially 5 years, it would be officially 5 years on March of next year. Yes, we need to make this happen. I will answer your email, Veronica. I have a schedule. It's very easy. And we do it. I'm going to. Some of you say that I could be a bit judgmental, but I need to talk about this. This is something that happened on the internet yesterday. Dr. Ali Lux. This has nothing to do with the topic that we were talking about, but it's another thing that we need to address because I don't know. Oh my God. All this that you're about to see was shared by Dr. Ali Lux. So I am not exposing anything here that she didn't share that herself. And you might be asking why I'm pointing her out. Okay, she got her PhD. That is great. I mean, my philosophy is whatever you aspire to, you get it. Okay, whatever you aspire to, you get it. I aspire to have the best show the best show ever. And I will work hard for that. But right now we had some kind of disclaimer. She wanted to be clear about what was her field of expertise. Since there's some confusion about the nature of my research, here's the abstract for my PhD thesis, which I hope will provide more context for anyone interested in learning more about my work. And you might be asking, why were people asking that question? What was the nature of her work? What was the nature of her work? Because, well, she had her thesis right there, and the thesis, and you see the title is Olfactory Ethics, the Politics of Smell in Modern and Contemporary Prose. All right, and wait a second. Prose, you mean smell in the written word, and the politics of smell in the written word, as in books. All right, and I guess that's why she had to explain what was her research about, because nowadays anything can be called a research. And I'm going to read this, just part of the abstract. The abstract is the summary of her research. And you remember that a PhD can take anywhere between 2 and 4 years of research. Years. And well, this thesis studies how literature registers the importance of olfactory discourse, the language of smell, and the olfactory imagination it creates. Okay, that sounds nice so far. In structuring our social world. The broad aim of this thesis is to offer an intersectional and wide-ranging study of olfactory oppression. Olfactory oppression. First I need to know olfactory. Okay, I'm saying it right. Olfactory. Olfactory oppression. Olfactory oppression. By establishing the underlying logics that facilitate smell's application in creating and subverting gender, class, sexual, racial, and species power structures. Or species power structures. I focus largely on prose fiction from the modern and contemporary periods so as to trace the legacy of olfactory prejudice. Prejudice into today and situate its contemporary relevance. I suggest that smell very often invokes identity in a way that signifies an individual's worth. So if you smell, you're not worthy. I'm trying to do a loose interpretation here, and a status in an inarguable manner that short-circuits conscious reflection. This is worse than Harris' book. I need a couple seconds to process this. I need a couple seconds to process this. This can be accounted for by acknowledging olfaction's strongly affective nature. Reproduces such strong bodily sensations, so if somebody smells, then you will cringe. And emotions that reflexivity is bypassed in favor of a behavioral or cognitive solution that assuages the intense feeling most immediately. This is why, this is the reason why. This is the reason why. I'm going to tell you a secret. This is the reason why I left academia. I couldn't stand, they are, pun intended, smelling their own farts. They're literally smelling their own farts. The joke writes itself and smells itself. This is next level. I don't know, Kool-Aid or what is this? How does it work? Olfactory disgust, therefore, tends to result in rejection, while harmful forms of olfactory desire may result in sublimation or subjugation. I'm going to make it clear again that we're not talking about people that smell in real life. Oh, you smell. You have to take a bath. You smell like. I am not saying that. You smell bad. We're not talking about real life. We're talking about prose, fiction, books. I didn't include the whole thing here, but he studied, I don't know which works. I think it was 1984. I don't know. She studied the prejudice of smell in works of fiction. I don't want to be judgmental. I mean, she's cute and all, okay, right? Okay, can I say that? Am I allowed as a, as a man, say that she's cute? She's cute, okay, well, nice. But how does this help humanity in any way? Oh, and she teaches at Cambridge. She Dr. Fart. paging Dr. Fart. She teaches at the university, at Cambridge, if I understand. She is a real person. This is all real. She shared all this. She shared the picture, then she shared the excerpt, then she shared the abstract. This is a real thing. How in the name of everything that is, I don't know. This is why I left academia. This is the problem. And these are the people. I mean, so many people have doctor or PhD in their bios, and so many of them are legit doctors and PhDs. That's okay. But the ones that are more vocal about them, somehow that heuristic ends up being the ones that smell the most, if you catch my drift. Understand what I mean? Yeah, word salad supreme. This is something that I needed. I mean, again, I am not going to criticize. This is like, yeah, I don't think that PhD can be done in 2 years. It must be like 3 or 4 years. So this has actual work. I mean, it is not like you just produce something and that's it. No. You have to do actual work. You have to put actual work into this. That I want to make it clear. That is undeniable that to get a PhD, you need to put actual work. Put in actual work. But how is this a thing? How is this a thing? It is my question. I want to know. I want to know. It's so confusing. Let me see your chat. I want to see your chat. We had more topics. We have not ran out of topics yet. All right. There's one thing. One thing that I want to show you. You know, there's something with cows in the UK. Something with cows in the UK that I need to address urgently. Oh, there's a video. Oh, that's a video that I didn't download. If you give me 2 minutes, we can move on.
Every one of us.
Okay, this is the video. Let me see how can I play it the best way. You're gonna take just a minute. Because this is something that I will be talking about concerns us all, because this is something that they are giving cows. You know that Bill Gates wants to reduce the methane or something, and they're giving this to cows to modify their digestion or something like that, and we don't know what are the effects that this is going to have. Let me see. And I want to show you this video so you understand. Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you this video. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about cows. Let's talk about cows, and this is important. In the following days, this will be a topic that I would be covering. And why should we be talking about cows? Well, let's watch this, and so you can understand what it's all about. Okay, it's muted. I don't want it to be muted.
Every one of us leaves a footprint. Cows too. They eat grass and other tough fibrous plants and convert it to milk for the dairy products we thrive on. But the enzymes that help them digest also produce methane, and that's not so good for us.
That is a bit blown out of proportion. Well, we were talking about farts and maybe smells, and now we're talking about cow farts, and like, well, today's show is special.
Because methane is a greenhouse gas. Compared to carbon dioxide, methane's warming effect is quick and intense. That means reducing it begins to pay off immediately.
Well, when they use a nice music and nice, graphic, it must be true, right?
How can we do that? Meet MOAR. Just a quarter teaspoon added to their daily diet makes cows consistently emit about 30% less methane.
I had some trouble trying to pronounce that. MOAR.
It takes effect instantly and is safe for consumers, for cows, and good for our planet.
How do we know it's safe? This was out of the blue. All this is out of the blue. And the good thing is that the milk generated, I think this is Arla milk, Arla Dairy UK, shelves still full of Vova-produced dairy, was Vova-free dairy products from Graham's Dairy Milk have sold out in London. Yeah, because people don't want any kind of, modification, because we don't know what is the effect on people in the long term. How much dairy do you consume on a regular basis? Now, usually when people consume dairy products, they consume that on a daily basis. Maybe you, I don't know, have breakfast with cereal or something like that, or you drink milk every day, or you give milk to your children. It's something that usually, when you drink milk, you drink it every day, or maybe you prepare your coffee. I sometimes forget I don't consume any dairy products. I know my diet is as clean as you can imagine, and I don't know. I removed dairy products from my diet a long time ago, so I'm trying to come up with examples. So we have zero way of knowing what would be the effect if you began drinking this modified milk after months or years. There's no way of knowing that. There's no studies on this. They're just focused on one thing. Oh, we need less methane from cow farts. Wait a second. I have a question. I mean, I'm curious about almost everything, but I don't really know what do they feed cows, right? And I have never known what they feed cows. And when I drank dairy products, I didn't care about what they feed cows. I was not interested in cow food. What did they eat? I like at all. And I eat cows, by the way. But now I realize, why is it so important that you have to mention that you're adding something to the cows, food, so that they fart less. Is this some kind of, virtue signaling? Just for virtue signaling? I don't think it's just for virtue signaling, because they are actually modifying the digestion of the cow in the sense to, generate less methane, if that is going to do anything, because it won't. The amount of methane from cow fart is negligible in terms of greenhouse gases. They just want to do this, you guessed right, because of money. They say that just a half a teaspoon or something like that, it will help cows fart less. But that must come with a cost, right? You have to produce it. You have to produce the vulva or whatever it's called. Money. Who produces that? Well, I'm pretty sure that if we go down the rabbit hole, I'm pretty sure that we're going to find Bill Gates at the end of that thread. I'm pretty sure that we're going to find Bill Gates at the end of that thread. And in the end, is a couple things. You don't know what effect it's going to have. First, in humans that consume that milk. And second, in the cows themselves. And you don't know what the effects it could have in the long term. So many things here, and they're looking at things as not a system. I've told you many times, you have to look at everything as a system. You cannot just say methane bad because, okay, maybe you don't eat meat. Okay, it's the same. For example, I don't eat pork. I don't eat pork products. I don't eat bacon. Some of you were amused that I say that bacon is haram. Bacon is haram in many ways. Or it's haram. I don't eat dairy products. I don't eat many things. So if you don't eat cows, then okay. It's like we agree on the things that we decide not to eat. I eat cows, you don't eat cows. Everybody decides something. But the idea is that we decide it. And we make a decision, and we make sure that the farms where our food is produced, well, they treat animals in a nice way. There's always a nice way and the wrong way. If it's the wrong way, then you make sure to boycott them no matter what you eat, okay? That's one thing. But I see that this overcomplication of what we eat for what purposes exactly? They want to put, remember that they wanted to put those shots in water and even directly in animals. So when we eat them, we're getting those shots. I wish I was making things up, because I know that there's one clip of Bill Gates at some point saying that, what if we put the vaccines in the food directly? Can we put the vaccines in the food directly? And I would say, how many times do we have to say that you should leave not only the children, but the women and the men, the cows? You should, I don't know, leave all of us alone. I mean, we could always improve the way that we create our food, and we could find more humane ways of grow our food. Again, if you are vegan, for example, for humane reasons, I want to judge you. I used to make fun of vegans, not anymore. And I also say that, well, they know how to do awesome recipes with just vegan ingredients, which is nice to have variety. But we are omnivores. We should be eating all this. But at the same time, we need to be very careful. What are the intentions of these companies that want to present themselves as saviors of climate change. They want to do something about that. The way to do something about that, because we need the cows, we need the dairy, we need their meat, we need their hooves. We basically use the whole cow for everything, for a number of things. We need to find a way not to modify the cows because the cows have evolved to be perfect as they are. We should instead be investing in devices who catch or, they just remove the methane from the atmosphere. And we're already working on devices that catch the carbon monoxide out of the atmosphere, and you can process it. That is the way that we should be doing. And in terms of energy, you already know that I'm an advocate for nuclear power. Where's all that? Oh, no, you know what? It's much faster if we just give the cows something to eat so they fart less. And it will be cheaper, right? To make. And it would be nice to charge for that a lot, because there are a lot of cows, and a lot of cows will have to eat that daily so they don't fart. Nice business, ongoing business, giving the cows something to eat. There are always going to be cows. You will always have to give them something to eat. So you always have to produce the product. So you will also have profits every single month. But if you create these devices, you invest in these devices that remove the methane and the carbon monoxide of the atmosphere, oh, that is not as profitable. That is not as profitable. How bad? No, we prefer the solution. We prefer the solution that is, more profitable to us. It sounds familiar, like vaccines during the pandemic. I'm not going to elaborate more on this. Let me show your chat. We still have more topics for today. I'm paying the price for not having a show yesterday. And I'm sure that you don't complain. You're not complaining, right? You like these long shows. These longish shows. Long shows should be 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. That is what a long show is. That is a long show. A manly 5-hour show. Maybe we will be there at some point. But again, I want to do so many things. Let me see. And we can move on. Today's last topic. Yeah, the longest one was 9 hours. Impossible to forget. I was a bit. I wanted to go the full 12 hours, but I think the 9 hours was more than enough. All right, so last topic of today is this one. Another cray. Let me see. Where am I? Yeah, man. More crazy meltdowns from the mainstream media. Crazy meltdowns from the mainstream media. Joyride has a 10-minute. We're not going to see the 10-minute. We're not going to see the 10-minute, right? No, we're not going to watch that. Please, no. 10-minute meltdown about Thanksgiving tells Trump worshipping Capitol storming MAGA they won't get a cookie, trophy, or hug from her. That's nice. I don't want any hugs from her. For your own sanity, I'm only sharing a minute of the meltdown. Thank you, Colin Rogg. Colin Rogg is one of my favorite accounts on X. And let's see what she has to say in this 1 minute meltdown. Just for, to be able to see the captions better. I'm going to put this way. And let's watch 1 minute of this meltdown.
These are the people who say the undocumented, who they get to call illegal immigrants
because they are illegal immigrants. Because they are illegal immigrants. That's what they are. We call that because that's what they are. Joy.
The pilgrims had permission to come here, have to suffer the consequences of their actions, right?
Yes. Every single human being should be responsible for the consequences of their actions and their words. That's how humanity has worked. That's how justice works. That's how being a responsible adult works. Joy.
They made the choice to overstay their visas or come into our country illegally. So if they get deported, consequences.
Yes. Consequences.
But you right-wingers shouldn't have to suffer the consequences of your votes?
No, I did not vote personally for Donald J. Trump. I invited my community, my lovely community, to vote for him. I made sure that my lovely audience got the message. So maybe I was instrumental in, a tiny percent, but I was instrumental in that. So we could say that I helped get Donald Trump elected. So count me in that select group.
You don't want to be around me because I voted for fascism. No fair. I'm coughing on you with COVID, but you want me to wear a mask for your safety? No fair. My body, my choice.
What is happening? I think that she's going to leave. I don't think that she is on X. I don't think that she is on X. My God. Oh my God. I'm looking at a clip. I think we're going to have more topics tonight. This is going to be a long night.
Well, here's an alternative thought. Make your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches.
Hey, wait a minute. You almost said the N-word. You almost say the N-word. Make your own dinner, MAGA. I know what you wanted to say, Joy. I am not allowed to say that word because I am going to get canceled. I don't want to say that word either because I don't have the N-word pass. I need to talk to Kanye or some of those guys to give me one N-word pass. I say it in private sometimes. I say it in private. What are you gonna do about it? Go ahead, cancel me. You have no redemption whatsoever.
Make your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches. Wipe your own tears. Troll amongst yourselves with Elon and leave us alone. You got your heart's desire.
We haven't said anything about you. You are the one who starts this fight, and I'm starting to realize that you are pretty much like Meghan Markle. Somebody was asking the question on X, what has Meghan Markle done? What has she achieved since she left the royal family? When one thing that Meghan Markle achieved is that she launched the career of dozens of YouTubers. And not gonna lie, Meghan Markle really helped my YouTube career big time. That is not a secret to anybody. So I'm starting to realize that Joy Wright is pretty much like Meghan Markle in this regard. She exists just for the sake of us YouTubers have some content, roast her, make memes, and why am I complaining about this? Why am I complaining? This is actually good for me. Okay, let's continue.
The president you dreamed of and worship instead of Jesus.
Keep that name out of your filthy mouth. Keep that name out of your filthy
And
mouth.
this time, you didn't even have to storm the Capitol, smash the windows, or try to kill police officers or issue death threats to poll workers. See? You did it just by voting this time. Congrats. You got your way. And he even got away with breaking the law. Yay.
I sometimes try to think what would have happened if I didn't become a YouTuber. I sometimes have these flashes of a different future, a different reality. But no, this is where I have to be. I need to expose these people for what they are. 10 minutes. This lasted 10 minutes. How is this possible? We are like 30 seconds in. And who watches this? This is the thing that I always say. It's like you see so many people on the internet that have commentators that have an opinion. I could mention so many of them. I troll them on X. But my question is, they are there because they develop an audience. And I'm really proud of my audience because I have worked my arse off to build my audience in a way that every single one of us can enjoy. But then I realize people like this also have an audience. What kind of people watches this on purpose? We're watching her just to make an example of the insanity of the world. Who watches this because they want to watch this? Because they decide to watch this? Because they like to watch this? What kind of mental diarrhea do you need to have to find this something worthy of your time? You could be doing anything else, anything. My mother is a fan and she's a miserable person. Oh my God. Kearney, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. But this is the problem. They got access. They got access to this content, and all that they do, these people, all that they do is thrive. I'm happy that they are on the way out. That advertisers are noticing that the money they pour into these shows are going nowhere. That the money is elsewhere. That the money is in the new media. Look at me. I am the media now.
But if you expect the 73 million who voted for the prosecutor, not the felon, and particularly the 92% of black women who voted for Kamala to give you a cookie for your vote, a trophy, a hug, a high five?
No, we don't need anything from Democrats. We don't need anything from Democrats. And I need to mention another The Ranch guy, Cenk Uyghur. I don't know how to pronounce his name, and I couldn't care less. He says, in the Democrat side, in the Democrats, there are very nice people that are being shadowed by all the ranch people, but there are good people. I would like to know. I generally would like to know where are those people. Maybe at some point I would have Cenk on my show, but why not? But I would like him to mention one of them. Come to my show and mention one of them. This has been so quickly. Maybe that would happen faster than we think.
You might be asking too much. If we want to eat with you, we will.
No, we will not invite you to our table. You will be forbidden of entering our houses. You will be forbidden of entering any space of us. We don't want anything to do with you. I am just posting this because you have made yourself the target of mockery and memes. You are nothing but the silliest example of the mainstream media. I don't know why we are wasting time with you. But it's the same. It's the same. It's exactly the same like Meghan Markle. And Meghan Markle was a star that flew too close to Netflix and just burned. And I told you Those of you who follow the Royal Road, this was going to happen at any point. And yes, it was like I predicted. And the end, she's gonna give up. She's gonna give up. Meghan is gonna give up like in, I don't know, May 2025. When the Netflix contract is finally finished. Because I understand the questions that you ask. I'm seeing the some of your comments, the questions that you ask. Why do you do this? Why do you do this? Because you have to call these people out. You have to call these people out. It's incredible. There has been a long minute, a very long minute.
But if we just want some peace over the holidays and we don't want to put up with your trolling while we eat our tofurkey.
Tofurkey, what the actual F? What in the name of sweet Lord is tofurkey? This looks like something that you would find in the Urban Dictionary, and you don't want to look for the Urban Dictionary entry of tofurkey. Oh, no. This is way too much. Way too much.
Get over it.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Stop acting like we owe you, and for God's sakes, stop whining. It's embarrassing.
We are not whining. We are winning, which is different. You are the one who's whining. Why would you call us? We are whining. I don't understand. This is what doesn't have any logic whatsoever. I got my lovely assistant has something for me that I need to show you right now. This could be like another topic for tonight. This is going to trigger. This is this one. This is going to trigger some of you. Thanks, Eric Dougherty, for sharing this. Just in, President Joe Biden salutes true hero Dr. Anthony Fauci. This is 26 seconds. True hero Anthony Fauci. What in the name? No, this is way too much.
Special thanks to one of the great public health officials, a true hero, who we've led this fight against HIV/AIDS, Dr. Anthony Fauci. Where is Anthony? And you're a good man. God love you. As my mother would say, God love you, Anthony.
I would like to know, what would it take to have Anthony Fauci behind bars? From the gain of function thing, which I disagree, and I have people that have in high esteem that they agree with the gain of function thing. I would agree with the gain of function thing if the level 4 biolabs had the same strict requirements than current nuclear power design. Like current nuclear power design is insane. It's insane, the level of security that is required. I don't think this is the same level of security of level 4 biolabs. So yes, you can have accidents that change the course of history and essentially kill millions. And you try to make it seem like you had nothing to do with it, Dr. Fauci. And I made a video about you exposing all the experiments that you have pushed all over the world. For what? For sadistic pleasure? To feel like God? to get some kind of award? You said that maybe we could use not one, but 2 masks at the same time. Maybe even 3 masks. I don't know if you said 3 masks, but you absolutely, Dr. Fauci, said that maybe using 2 masks was better than using just one. There's so many words. Do you know the kind of words that I could use for Anthony Fauci right now? I think it's obvious. This is part of this cabal. It's part of this kind of initiative that they really want to watch the world burn. They really wanted to do something evil, do something special, but not in the good sense of the word. You could do something special in many ways. This guy decided to finance super viruses in so many instances that I don't know how he hasn't been prosecuted yet. It's like Elon Musk has it. My pronouns are prosecute Fauci. He absolutely must be prosecuted for that. And with these remarks, I think we have arrived at the end of tonight's show. It's been a nice show. More than 2 hours. It's been nice. There's been quite a few topics. Let me see your comments. I want to see your comments. Pair of pliers and a blowtorch. I'm guessing, Bobcat, that you're not talking about garage stuff. I think that, yeah, Juan Antonio, it's really good against evil. We're talking about good against evil. It is a death cult, quiet girl. Oh, this is interesting. Fauci means, Amanda, Fauci means sickle in Italian. What does sickle mean? Reaper. Oh my God. This is something worth noting. Princess Dumbarton, you summarize it very well. People wearing masks are breathing in toxins plus their own germs, plus not getting enough oxygen. And the children in the schools. The children. Don't get me started with that. Don't get me started with that. And Courtney, yeah, do you know certain jobs still require these damn shots to work for them? I had mine 3 years ago, and guess what? They worn off, and it doesn't matter at this point. I just hope that this helps us as learning. That helps us. Okay, we learn what these people were capable of. And we will not allow them to do this kind of stuff ever again. But the fight for sanity, the fight for common sense is hard and long. It's not over yet. And we need to put in as much energy as possible, because if we don't fight back, then all these people in charge, all these people in these governments, all these people that have these sadistic tendencies will try to get away with things that is going to harm a lot. It's harming a lot of people globally. And we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity with certain freedom of speech. We have an opportunity of what is going to be the United States from January 20th that can't come soon enough. From January 20th and onwards, we will see what happens with the world, but rest assured that I will be there and we will share this space to be able to talk and discuss and have an opinion and maybe grow this show into something. No, maybe not. We will grow this show into something bigger. My body language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. And until we meet on another video, another live tomorrow in show number 33, nice number, remember the most important words: much love and bliss. Take care. Be safe. I love every single one of you. Bye-bye.